Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building.
Yes, indeed.
The brother Larry Morrow. What up, Larry?
What's going on, brother? How you doing?
I'm
How
good.
You feeling?
What are all your titles, Larry? We definitely know entrepreneur.
Restaurant owner.
Restaurateur. Is that the word?
Restaurateur, yeah.
Restaurateur.
Yeah.
Real
What
estate
else?
developer.
I do some real estate, restaurateur. I'm an author. I'm a dad. Well, many hats. I wear many hats, but yeah, that's just the name of
Promoter.
Yeah, promoter, event promoter. I don't know how I forgot that, but yeah, that's kind of how I got my start with everything, you know. So that's some of the titles that I wear currently.
And you have a restaurant in New Orleans that
A couple.
a couple that everybody loves.
Yeah.
I've had people call me and see if I can get them in Morrow's. I've never been to Morrow's. I'm like, that's envy, no Larry.
Yeah. Now, so currently right now I have Morrow's. Morrow's been open for 5 years. I opened up. It's crazy because I did Breakfast Club in 2018, right before we opened up in April, and that was in January of 2018. So prior to us opening, I was here with you and Angela, did Breakfast Club. But since then, I've opened up Morrow's. Well, not Morrow's. I opened up Monday. It's a new restaurant. I own 13,000 square feet.
Wow.
I opened up Sun Chung, which I recently opened up about maybe 5 months ago.
What's that, gumbo fried rice? What is that? The Chinese food?
No, crawfish fried rice. That's a concept I opened up after. I named it after my grandmother. So her name is Sun Chung. She's from Korea. It's a concept of Asian American hip hop infused. Real cool spot in the French Quarter. I have a spot called Tree Houses, which is a club.
Yep.
Lounge. You've hosted it before.
And his grandmother loves me, by the way.
Hold on, by the way, tell me more about crawfish fried rice. That sounds incredible.
Grandma love me.
That's a real dish?
Yeah. So crawfish fried rice, we wanted to put like a New Orleans twist on it, right? Of course, when you go to Asian American spots or just Asian spots, they have a lot of fried rice, shrimp fried rice, chicken fried rice, but we wanted to do crawfish fried rice, infuse some of that New Orleans cuisine, New Orleans style into it. So that's where the crawfish fried rice come from. And it's been a big hit. It's one of our top sellers, but when people come to New Orleans, they look to get that crawfish fried rice.
Or oysters at Morrow's.
When you come to New Orleans, you want to get some New Orleans cuisine.
Absolutely.
Like, you don't necessarily want, like when you come to New York, you may want to get, there's Asian restaurants everywhere, but I think when you come down there, you want to get that New Orleans cuisine. So we try to infuse some of that New Orleans style into a lot of what we do, even if it's a different concept.
How did your people end up in New Orleans?
So my grandmother, it's really a long story. When developing Sun Chung, I even found out even more about just like everything, just like her coming to America. And it was like a love story. She came from left Korea because, back in that time, my grandfather, African-American man, 6 foot, dark, handsome, in the Army, he met my grandmother. And back then, it wasn't really accepted, like black and Asian, like her parents, and even her parents, the culture, everybody didn't really like the fact that they were together. And so that kind of led to another thing, like her coming to America to start her own family and just get away from, that just because she didn't really agree with what they believed at the time, So she came, she went to Colorado. From Colorado, went to Chicago. From Chicago, came to New Orleans. And just planted her feet and raised her family. So that's how that went.
And it's a family business, too. Grandma, ma, and
you're going to see my
Larry.
grandmother up in there. You're going to see, my mom. You might see my sister, my daughter. Yeah, so we keep it real family-oriented. Currently, right now, we're working on, I have Morrow's Steak opening up in New Orleans. And I have a new New Orleans Caribbean cuisine called Spicy Mango. So that'll be opening up both this year. So that'll put us at 5 locations. Well, 6 locations, including Treehouse.
How do you keep all the spots from cannibalizing each other?
I think, what's happening now is that, every spot is different cuisines, right? You go to Morrow's for that real New Orleans cuisine. You go to Monday for that American Cajun cuisine, Sun Chung for the Asian American. But I think when people come to New Orleans, like I have people that tell me, yo, we came down here just to experience, all of your restaurants. So they may go to each one while they're there, maybe hit 2 a day. So it's become a thing like where, we're keeping a lot of dollars circulating within, Morrow hospitality, but also within the black community because, people just want to support black-owned businesses, and I'm providing, things. I come from a place where there's not many black-owned businesses. There's more that's opening, but of course, when you talk about French Quarter and New Orleans, it's a lot of businesses that's been existing for a long period of time. So I think us getting into the French Quarter, a lot of people were surprised as if we weren't supposed to be in the French Quarter. But I'm like, it's real estate that was available, and we were able to, get into that location.
Not only that, it's a safe environment. It's kind of like how Diddy used to have a restaurant. You'll see celebrities in there, but it's safe. The security, you feel comfortable when you go there. You don't feel like, oh, I gotta be careful. It's very safe when going to it. But now you're also speaking at Charlamagne's Mental Wealth Expo. You're on the role of Black fathers.
Yeah.
So talk about that, because you recently had. How was your?
She's about to be 4 next month.
4? Damn, that was fast.
Yeah,
time moves fast.
Yeah, yeah. So being a father has probably been it is one of the best things that happened to me. Of course, it changed my perspective on things. I already grew up in a household full of women, so it's like me having a daughter is like second nature. Just everything that I'm just learning during the process, and just how to be more patient, just understanding. Like she came up to me the other day and she was like, Daddy, she saw money. I had money out, and she was like, Daddy, can I have some money? And I gave her $1, right? Like, no, Daddy, not $1. I want 500. And I'm like, man, what did you learn to ask for $500?
From mommy.
But it's a beautiful thing, man. It just it's made me go a lot harder and just be a lot more responsible and think about things before I do them, because I know I got to go home to her, and it's times where I may just sit with her and just get emotional because of the feeling she brings. Like it's like a feeling like no other.
How would you define the role of a Black father?
I would say for me, I mean, it's being present. My father wasn't there. I don't come from a household where I had that father figure present for me. My mom, she played, the mom, and she was a father, like in a sense. But as far as me, I would say, man, just a father who's there, who's available, who's understanding, who just attentive to the needs of the daughter, because being around a bunch of women, man, I've learned a lot of things about women that most men may not get a chance to understand, just because I grew up in a household full of women. My mom, my sister, my grandmother, and me. So I had to I got to juggle the emotions of at one period it may be my mom, my sister, my grandmother going at each other, and I got to intervene and just say, just kind of just be the man of the house. So I've learned to just be able to deal with those emotions, and I'm still dealing with them. I'm still dealing with them every day, and learning to just be patient with it.
That sounds like my house now. I got 4 daughters, beautiful wife. It's just nothing but women in the house. And that's really what you have to learn the most, is just patience.
Right.
That's it. Especially when you got young. I got a 15-year-old, 8-year-old, 5-year-old, and 2-year-old.
Yeah.
It's all patience. That's it.
Yeah, and sometimes I check out. It's like it get tough sometimes, just trying to manage it all. Have a business, personal, family, and just everybody's opinions, and just it's a lot when you got all women. And I have my my family, my daughter, my fiance. So it's a lot to manage, and I'm blessed to have them and be in a position to manage it. But you gotta definitely pace yourself.
So what do you do when you disconnect? Like how do you maintain your mental health so you can juggle all your ventures and your family?
I think more so maintaining mental health for me is more so just taking a step back, taking a step back and just time to myself. It's a lot of time I don't disconnect from a lot of things, but for my own sanity, for my own mental health, like recently, like I disconnected for like a week, right? And I felt a weight lifted off my shoulder. Why? Because I'm always on go. Have a lot of people who depend on me. I currently have over 300 employees, and I have, I have my family, my mother, everybody, and oftentimes it's like, nobody knows what you're dealing with. So for me, it's like, I just take a step back, and when I took this little week break, I felt so relieved, and I was rejuvenated to come back and just get back to it, because I was just kind of just dealing with my own issues myself, and issues being as simple as just, people calling you every day, depending on you for answers, and just waiting on you to, provide answers for them. And sometimes it's like, it's exhausting, just having people depend on you as much as they do. So I just learned recently, like, just taking a step back has helped me to be able to deal with, that. And outside of just me, like, going to work out and just, going for that morning jog, I may wake up at 6 a.m., go walk on the levee by my house, and, go for a run. And for me, that's like, it gives me a peace of mind.
For up-and-coming Black entrepreneurs, what advice would you give them?
I would say,
because we seen your grind. We seen you start as a promoter and go from a promoter to your first restaurant to the club. So I've seen your grind. So what advice would you give them?
That's crazy because, like, I was telling somebody recently, like, I've been knowing you probably for about 7 to 8 years, and we've been working together since. And you, Angela, y'all been able to see, what I've done, just from producing events to different things. But I would just say one of the most important things is just identify, like, who you are, because I think a lot of people get lost in, especially in this world that we're in right now with social media. They kind of shift their mindset, or just they see things on social media and they essentially, gravitate towards that. But I think at one point in my journey, I was lost. When I was 25, I thought I was a rapper, right? Because I was hanging around with rappers, but had to realize that that's not who I was. I'm an entrepreneur. So when I decided that, like, my identity, not based upon what society or what I see on social media, and I started to walk in my own purpose, that kind of helped me elevate and, really grow when I locked into those events. And then I opened up that first restaurant. Then I just opened up more, and, I just locked into, I'm like, I'm a restaurateur. I'm Larry Morrow. I don't need the ice. I don't need the shine. I don't need the bling. I don't need any of that to, be who I am. And it felt great to know I can walk into rooms and be respected for my work and my craft. So I would say for any entrepreneur who's looking to grow, I would say lock into you and just find your purpose, because it's kind of pointless if you just wake up and not have a target that you're aiming at. I wake up every morning with intention of just being intentional about what I'm doing and how I'm going about my day.
Why restaurants?
My mother.
Okay.
My mother. So my mom, she's been in the restaurant industry for a long time. So I opened up my first restaurant at 22. Right, I opened up a spot called Larry's Po' Boys and Wings, and it was just at the wrong time of my life. I was young, wanted to be outside, wanted to be in the streets, and just not be in the grocery store. So that was open for about 6 months, and it closed down, not because it didn't do well, it's just because I wasn't in the right place. I was it was just at the wrong time of my life. So it taught me a lot that, you had to have some reserves when being in the restaurant industry. I went into that situation with all in. I didn't have money to pay rent. I didn't have money to, like, just say if I have a down month or down or two. So it prepared me for when we opened up Morrow's when I became 28. And so I think the collaboration between me and my mom's was like the perfect concoction, because she always been the chef, the manager, the server. She was playing every hat. So I think that concoction to where me coming from a event promotion background, I'm able to fill venues, are able to promote something, and her having the secret sauce, being in the kitchen and able to whip up the recipes, and me focus on curating the vibes. It was an easy situation. So we would, I would bring people in town, have them host my events, bring them by the restaurant, and so it became like a trend. It became a thing. 3 months into being open, Drake came. A bunch of people from Drake, Patti LaBelle, Mary J. Blige, Envy, Angela, everybody was pulling up because these are pre-existing relationships that were built prior to getting into the industry. And it just helped establish the brand even more outside of us having a great reputation for our food. It helped. And I remember one day, Patti LaBelle called me, and she was like, "Larry, your mama macaroni better than mine." And that was dope because it's like, this is Miss Patti calling me. And she called me after she left, and because she enjoyed her experience. And, I think just, my mom's being in the industry and then me getting a taste for it and I saw what it could be, it made me dive deeper into it. Like Tillman Fertitta, a restaurateur who I've often, read his book. He owns the Post-Oak Rockets and a bunch of different establishments, Bubble Gump, Mashrow's, Willie G's. When I saw that he had 600 plus restaurants, I'm like, why can't we have 600 plus restaurants? So I'm like, all right, cool. If this is what I'm doing, I'm not doing it to, remain a mom and pop. I want to expand. So I just started to do more research and just get more serious about the science behind everything, dive into the numbers, and just make, just grow the brand. So currently right now, we have 6 locations, but the goal is to have as many as we can have, not continue to grow, just expand the Morrow's brand. We're going to bring Morrow's to Atlanta, Houston, New York, Miami. That's the plan to continue to grow the Morrow's brand and Morrow hospitality, expand the portfolio.
Now, do you make those celebrities pay when they come to your restaurant?
I wouldn't answer that question.
Huh?
I wouldn't answer that question.
You know what? Maybe I shouldn't. But I think.
But it's a good lesson for.
No. I think a lot of people, like some people come in, like for example, right? Angela Martinez was the other day. Arande called me. Angela, she paid for a bill, but had I known, I would have came and sent some appetizers, drinks, So every situation is different. There's people who come who don't pay. There's people who come who do pay. But if I'm there, I like to show a lot of Southern hospitality, and I like to leave an impressionable moment and have people. I think I've been able to build my brand by leaving those impressions on people, and not only did they enjoy the food, or even if they didn't enjoy the food as much, they enjoy the experience and want to come back and they rave to their friends. So when people come to New Orleans, it's like, yo, like somebody told me the other day, they were like, yo, every corner we turned, everybody was saying, go to your spots. So that's kind of the vibe you get when you come to New Orleans. That everybody's going to send you in our direction. And when you come in our direction, we're going to navigate you to all the other places that you need to be at. Whether it's Treehouse for the club vibe, or if different restaurants and stuff. So, but I would say every situation is different. I'm not always there when somebody's there. I'm not always aware when somebody's there. So, but I love to take care of my people, not just the celebrities who come in, but friends of mine. I may see somebody who say, somebody told me they visit all the locations. I'm like, wow, man, that's dope. They went to Treehouse, Monday, Morrow's. So I say, you know what, this meal is on me. So, I like to take care of people because, I wouldn't be able to do what I do if I didn't have the support of the people.
Yeah, I think that they should pay. And the reason I think they should pay is because number one, they got it, and number two, if you're coming to somebody's establishment, you got to make a living too.
Right. 100%.
So I think they should pay.
Yeah, remember that story I told you earlier about the actor? We won't say it. It was at Treehouse at his club.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Oh, you don't like him either, like?
Huh?
You don't care for him either?
I don't know what you're
He
talking
don't know
about.
what he's talking about.
I just didn't want.
Now I was telling him a story behind the scenes, and it was at Treehouse when we was there, when we was hosting there.
Now, you know what I want to ask you?
Thing.
You said you started in 2018.
Well, yeah, so I opened up Morrow's in 2018.
How bad did the pandemic scare you in 2020?
Man, the pandemic scared me so bad to the point to where I remember my fiance, she was in Whole Foods and we was about to get some apple juice. It was $6. I'm like, man, that shit too high for right now. Like, we don't know. I'm thinking the world about to shut down, right? I'm not like, I'm thinking something crazy about to happen, but I think we've been able to grow through the pandemic. A lot of businesses were affected. Us having, at the time during the pandemic, we only had Morrow's. So we started doing Tagoe, and we were able to sustain and actually be profitable by not having as much staff.
Wow.
And doing Tagoe, and we did great. We did great. So we're blessed to just, have the following and have the support of the people because we wouldn't be able to do what we're doing.
Did you get a PPP?
Yeah. 100%, yep.
As you should have.
Everybody. Yeah, everybody has small business did.
Yep.
Well, this weekend you're going to be with Charlamagne at the Mental Wealth Expo Saturday. You're a panelist, The Role of Black Fathers, and we appreciate you for joining us.
That's right.
No, I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for always extending the platform out to me. Appreciate y'all.
And we'll see you in New Orleans soon.
100%.
Tell them where the restaurant website is.
Well, yeah, you could check out, you could check me out on Instagram, Larry_Morrow. On my page, you will see the links to, my website, Morrow Hospitality, or just each individual restaurant, Treehouse. So if you're in New Orleans looking for a vibe, an experience, whether it's from the restaurant to the nightlife, look us up. Easy to find. You have a great time.
All right. It's The Breakfast Club. It's Larry Morrow.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.